Thank you so much, Gilbert. Wonderful to see you again. It's been way too long since we've seen you in person. As Gilbert said, I'm the president and CEO of Banyan Gold. We're advancing our AurMac project, which you can see in this image, in Canada's Yukon territory, immediately adjacent to Canada's two newest mines, Victoria Gold's Eagle Gold Mine, which will be a 200,000 hopefully plus producer and is producing gold right now beside us, and Alexco Resources high-grade silver. In this image, you can see the moderate topography and the fabulous infrastructure that our project benefits, which is going to help us advance this project very, very quickly. So in 2020, in May, we came out with our maiden resource on AurMac of 900,000 ounces at 0.54. This was a really important time for us and a pivotal change in moving Banyan forward. We were able to establish this resource, and now we're continuing to drill out with over 10,000 meters last year and another 30,000 meters, which we'll have drilled by the end of this year to increase this resource. We believe that our property has multi-million ounce potential. In the Yukon, I believe the threshold is 300 million ounces, or 3 million ounces, not 300 million ounces, for a project to be potentially developed and to be of interest to majors. So that's our target. Our management team has a track record of success, both in spending money well and in very scientifically led exploration, as well as being part of the success stories of building and developing mines such as Victoria Gold. We've got fabulous infrastructure, roads, power, even communication, cell phone service right on our projects, which will help us advance us and which just lets us be unique. We're a year-round exploration story. We're ramping up now in the fall. We'll drill through to December and pick up in February. So unlike other Yukon stories, we'll have continuous year-round news flow, which makes us quite different. And the other really key thing to look at on any project is it a jurisdiction that's supportive of mining? Can you permit a project? Our project is immediately adjacent to two mines, which were just permitted in the last 2 to 3 years, and that is supportive of mining. And the type of mine that we envision this could be is something that is permittable here. So very key consideration when you're looking to invest in mining companies. Our team is very focused on good quality exploration, assets that we believe could be mines. You know, we have Mark Aranto, who's been with Victoria Gold since when they were at the same stage we are at, roughly 10 years ago. And now they're a producing mine. That's been a tremendous success story. Victoria Gold was just the TSX-30 award. I think they were the 13th for the highest share price increase. Pretty exciting times to be in this jurisdiction. Steve Burleton, he's got a track record of success in making shareholders money and big transactions. And David Reed also has been involved with lots of very successful mining deals in this space. So we're well set up and supported by our directors and our team. In terms of shareholders, we have also been validated by some of the best mining companies, with Victoria Gold owning 12%, Alexco at 7%, and Osisko Development, and Franklin Precious Metals at 7%. That is a real testament to the quality of our assets and our team. And I would say, you know, I became the CEO in 2016. So, you know, I didn't have any early founder stock. I've purchased all my position in the market since I became CEO. And I'm roughly a 5.5% shareholder. And I put $500,000 into this most recent financing, which was $16 million and announced in August. We now have $16.5 million in the bank. That is going to fund us through to 2023 with very aggressive drill programs this year and next year, resource update, and even commencing our PEA. So very well positioned. And I think shareholders will really see value as we go into the fall into what I think will be a strong gold market. It's a good time, I believe, to be in gold. The Yukon, you know, is a great jurisdiction, as I talked about earlier. You can actually build and permit mines. The majors are starting to notice that with significant investment, and we are positioned very well for that. Here you see that fabulous infrastructure right around our resources. We envision this project as an open pit heap leach mineable project, very similar to the analog right down the road, just 40 kilometers on the road is Victoria Gold. Important numbers, their grade of deposit is 0.65 and their recoveries are 74%. And if that is an economic deposit that's a little bit further out with a little bit less infrastructure than what we have, I think it's a good model for us. Given that we're the same age of mineralization, we're in the same jurisdiction, we've got fabulous infrastructure. So, you know, if you increase our cutoff grade by 50%, our grade goes up to 0.65 and it remains mineable. So very exciting. The power line that you see in this image actually goes right to the hydroelectric dam, so green power, which is part of the trend that we're seeing. You can see there's a substation already on the property, a main highway, which the Yukon government's going to spend $63 million on to upgrade starting next year. This fabulous infrastructure reduces the potential capital costs, as well as it enables us to operate safely through the colder months in the Yukon. Airstrip is where existing resources, we focused on drilling it out last year. We had great success with long intersects of mineralization right from surface. We've extended it by 300 meters to the west and 125 meters to the east and down dip. There's still more to add here, but we were even more excited about what we were finding at our second target, power line. That was a brand new discovery in 2019, just 14 holes into that resource. We've now increased the mineralized footprint by over 650%, and we're still drilling here today, continuing to expand this, and we'll drill this continuing through the fall. Lots of visible gold here in the core, and certainly we think there's lots of potential to continue to grow the resource. The deposit's horizontal, and right now it's open in all directions and at depth. Very exciting times for us here. Just looking at, you know, I said we had multi-million ounce potential. I think the target range that you need in projects is 3 to 5 million ounces. And we think this small area of our property that you see in this image has the potential to host that 3 to 5 million ounces. You can see in the top left-hand corner of this map, that's the airstrip resort, the 774,000 ounces that we've drilled out. Power line here is growing in the center part where there is no soil anomaly to guide us. But then we have this large target area up on the hill, Oryx Hill. And, you know, if you just looked at size of soil anomaly, you could think, oh gosh, they could fit multiples of the airstrip in that. Very, very interesting, but show me that that soil anomaly is connected to bedrock. And we have drilling evidence that suggests that this does have the potential for a near surface resource. The first is this section, which you see, which goes right through the middle of this soil anomaly, CC. You know, all 4 of those holes intersected mineralization, including 20 gramish material right near surface. So that's great evidence. Then we have 300 rab drill holes, which are 400 meters or 40 meters deep on average, with some great grades, you know, up to 1.5 right on surface, but lots of 1 gramish type material. This is a guide for us. These are historic holes, but we can use them to show us where to drill for mineralization. The green dots that you see on this image are where we've drilled, and these results are pending. We're expecting these within this next month. Very excited to get these results and understand the potential for a near surface resource here. So stay tuned. These are coming soon, and they'll help us guide the rest of our drill program into the fall. Again, another look at that. You can see that the whole top of this hill in some of these gridded areas is already over what would be Victoria Gold's cutoff grade of 0.15. So a great guide to guide our exploration. So with 30,000 meter program is underway. We're ramping up to 3 drills here by mid-October, and we'll drill through December and then take a short break, pick it up again in February, and drill through all of next year. We're funded for that resource update, which we're planning for Q2 2022, as well as commencing our PEA. So very exciting times and a prospective area and the type of project which can become a heap leach mine. But is the gold recoverable? A key question investors should ask. And we were very pleased with our initial metallurgical results, which came out in February, 90% recoveries from both the oxide and the sulfide, lots of visible fine gold. We're seeing the gold is not correlated with the sulfide because it's a later phase. This is all very positive for the potential heap leach mineability of our AurMac project. We're doing additional metallurgical work in columns right now, and we'll have more to report on this as we continue to advance the project, but very positive news for us. ESG is so important. You know, I talked about having hydropower, but ESG is important on many fronts. We think we're hitting it above our market cap at our 60 million market cap, we are using our long-term connections to be present in the community. We run a charity which really focuses on getting kids to school. We've given out over $1.2 million to 140 projects all across the Yukon. But there's other parts of it, the safety standards, the environmental standards, the training, hiring from the community. We're making sure that we're advancing Banyan and taking all of these things into consideration. And if our AurMac project and its potential isn't enough, we have a second project down near Watson Lake that also has roughly 500,000 ounces at 0.85. We're planning to do some work on it in 2022. It's a lookalike for our AurMac, also intrusion-related gold deposit. So, how is Banyan, how are investors going to make money from Banyan? Well, we know we're adding ounces with the drilling we're doing. So, roughly we are, valued today at about $50 per ounce. As we add ounces, which we know we're going to do towards that resource, we should rate just on the total quantity of ounces, but we're also adding quality. We're just started our baseline environmental. We're setting out this project up right from the social standard to be able to permit it. And we're also doing the metallurgy to show that this is mineable, as well as doing some conceptual mine planning to understand and show people what this would look like if it was a mine, or to advance to a mine. So exciting times for us and exciting time for our shareholders. With $16.5 million, we're starting to get research coverage. You might have noticed we're covered by Sprott and their price target is 55 cents. I think there's lots of room for Banyan to grow and advance. Just a quick image of what a heap leach mine would be here. People say, well, it's Victoria Gold might acquire you and they're one of your shareholders. Well, I have 4 shareholders that might acquire us, but I also think there's lots of people that will be interested in this project if it is a standalone mine. So very exciting days for us. We hope you'll watch. We're funded into 2023, and now we're getting ourselves set up for a long fall and winter drill program and drilling in 2022 with our exceptional infrastructure and a great team. We're going to deliver some results for shareholders. So be sure to watch our story. I can take some questions if there's any.
Yes, Tara. So there's a few questions here. The first one coming from the Chinese side here from Ming He. He's asking you, probably asked you, is it easier to raise capital in the last few years for you? How's the financial situation at Banyan?
That financing was well oversubscribed. We brought in just some really strong shareholders. So, I think our timing was really well timed because the market is a little tougher right now. We won't have to finance for quite a long time now, given the amount of money we have in the bank, which I think is good. It's a little soft in the market right now. I'd be worried if I had to finance now just from the global situation.
Good. Next one coming from Francis here, said, how much in total capital did Banyan invest into AurMac until now, from start until now?
So that initial resource, we put $1.8 million in exploration into it. And then we've since spent roughly another $3 million. So, and then what we've spent today. So we're probably around, $6 million or so and growing. We'll have $13 million to spend on it by the end of 2022 in exploration dollars. So, if you look at what we did with that initial money, imagine what we can do now. That was $2 an ounce, that initial resource. We roughly estimate $5 to $6 per ounce. So lots of growth for us with that much money.
Great. This question from Salma here, to put you on the spot here, do you think you're one of the best exploration places in Yukon region now, among others, and why?
Well, I think it's because we did the hard work. We knew about this great asset. We acquired it. We spent some long years, re-logging core, putting together a geological model, and now and then we went out and drill tested it with small, modest programs. Now we've got a strong model, and that really enables us to have great drill efficiency. And, all of our holes are hitting mineralization because they're all really well planned based on our model, which allows us to expand it very quickly. So, I have to give credit to my great team in the field for the work that we're doing, and they're getting us even more set up now that we have a really solid plan for the next 2 years. And that gives you a huge advantage to be able to plan ahead and have a great team.
So one last question here, and so how long have you been exploring in Yukon? Seems to like a region that you're quite familiar with, or your team too.
Yeah, I started in the Yukon. I came to the Yukon with my father, who's a geologist, when he was 8, and I've been in geology all my life because my father's would take us out in the field at an early age. And really my career, I spent 20 years running a private alluvial mining operation, getting some public company experience, and then took over this company in 2016. So I think my background has really positioned me well to take Banyan through this next phase, and particularly to advance AurMac. Some great permitting experience as well, working with First Nations. And I did work all across Canada's north and even did a little bit of work in Africa to know that, now I really realize my specialty is gold, and Yukon is where I want to be and where I think I can add the most value.
Great. I think that's it for all the questions here for you today. And again, thank you for your insights in Yukon and your latest story here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tara.